All right, welcome back. Need to talk about Netflix, Roblox, and eBay, all downgraded to sell today at Goldman. The price targets for all three were cut as well. So let's start, Pete, with you and this Netflix call, okay? Again, a cut to sell. That's from neutral. The price target goes to 186 from 265. What jumps out to me the most, I think, in your commentary, in the conversations you had with our producers, you think they're right. So what does that mean for your holding?
Yeah. Well, you know, we've been watching. When I talked about CPI, everybody said it had peaked, and it didn't peak when they were talking about that. And actually, we're now seeing inflation as where it is continues to go higher, right? So it makes sense because he's talking about the idea that the analyst is talking about the idea that not only is it competitive out there, but you know, they have to be very selective with their money because we are seeing a bit of a, you know, the consumer recession right now. And it's not just in the U.S. He mentions also in Western Europe and other parts of the world and supply chain issues and all the different things that we all know are going on. So it does make some sense. And it, you know what, unfortunately, I kind of bought into the idea that maybe we hadn't peaked, but maybe we'd flatten out for a while. That wasn't the case. We continue to go higher, and that's going to cause even more of that recessional feel that people are feeling right now. And it's going to impact what they do in terms of where they spend their money, Netflix being one of them. So I have to, unfortunately, agree with the analyst on this one that it makes sense that he went to a sell and the fact that it's a 186 price target now.
Are you selling?
I am not selling. No, not right now. I feel like that's in. I feel like now it's priced in. So, you know, I'm underwater for sure, but I'm going to have to navigate that and decide, are they up to the challenge of the competitive landscape that we already had but also the competitive landscape given the fact of what we're seeing with this consumer quote-unquote recession and how much they're going to be able to spend on whatever they would like to do. Are they going to spend on one of the more expensive ones out there, and that being Netflix?
All right, Josh, Netflix and Roblox, both for you. Again, both cut to sell today. And in terms of Roblox, which I didn't say, that price target goes to 28 from 39.
Yeah, I think the analyst is right on the environment. I think the only debate is, to Pete's point, how much of this does the market already understand? Netflix last quarter lost a net 200,000 subs, which was shocking to the market, and then said they're going to lose another 2 million in the quarter that we're in. So we are all aware. This is not. I don't know what the value is in cutting a stock that's already fallen 70%. Based on the same information that it's already fallen for. So I'm not really sure what we're doing here. So like Pete, I'm sticking with Netflix. On Roblox, I barely have any left. As I've mentioned before, I've been selling into rallies. The stock went up more than 50% from its low. It was like 20. It went up into the 30s. I took some off. At this point, I don't have enough to feel it, and I really don't care if it goes to zero. I would say, though, it'll be interesting. We've never seen this before. We haven't had a recession in a time that consumers had as many subscriptions to media and content as they do today. Like if you think back to the last real recession, not the pandemic, 07 to 09, there really was no business at Netflix streaming. We were still walking into Blockbusters or getting envelopes of DVDs. So we actually don't know how sticky these subscriptions are going to be through a recession based on any history. It's all conjecture. I'd be curious to see how much the subscribers turn these things off in a true economic downturn. The market is acting as though look at Disney under 100 right now. So maybe the most defensible of all the streaming plays is Amazon Prime, just based on the fact that people aren't cutting their Prime because it's a way to save on costs for other things. And maybe Netflix is more susceptible than that, but I don't know that we can say definitively what's going to happen here.
Right. Of course, when this downturn is different than many others that we have seen, simply it's fueled in large part by extraordinarily high prices, which lends to Josh's point, I think, very well, that we just don't know what all of that impact is going to be.